Coach, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I know the season's just around the corner. Your campaign starts on Friday. What are some of your expectations for the upcoming year?
Well, always try to set the highest of expectations. So winning a national title is the main goal. Obviously, there's smaller goals that lead up to that. We'd love to win the conference again, the conference tournament. But basically, it's a game by game scenario. We've got a really tough schedule this year. So the first goal is to win our first game, and it'll be a game by game scenario. We're playing obviously St. Leo and Rollins, two Sunshine State teams who are a very, very high level. We follow up with Lee and Lincoln Memorial. All four teams were either at the national tournament or they were in the top 20 in the country last year. So it's a tough one, but we have high expectations this year for sure.
Well, a lot of your players played in the PDL this summer, and I know you're the head coach also of Mississippi Berea FC. Coming out off of that campaign, looking at your players, how important was it for your players to play in the PDL, especially year to year? How important is it for those players to play?
It's absolutely massive. We put a huge priority on our players playing PDL in the summer, just for the balance of the professional lifestyle. Obviously with the college game, it can be very short and very intense in the fall, and then less intense in the spring with a lot of focus on strength and conditioning, mobility, the physical aspects of the game. But the intensity of the games in the spring is just not there. So the match fitness goes away, and just the opportunity for the players to go and get 10 to 12 games in the PDL at a very, very high level, it's absolutely huge. And obviously we're trying to get players to the next level, that the players who are capable of it anyway. So those players playing in that environment is huge for exposure. It's huge for their balance and lifestyle. It's huge for socially as well, getting to understand the opinions of other coaches, of other players from other cultures. So I think it's priceless for our players. We have a big focus on sending our players to the PDL every summer.
From a coach's perspective, how important is it for you to be coaching in the PDL?
Well, I think we're all students of the game, and at the point where we lose that, then we may have to take a good look at ourselves. My experience in the PDL has just been fantastic. My first year we were able to win the division. Last year we struggled a little bit for a number of reasons, but again, for me to get to understand new players, to what I call the PDL is almost like a crash course in soccer. You bring all these players together, and all of a sudden they just have to make it work. You don't have time to mold them, you don't have time to shape them. It just has to work. So from my experience, it's been fantastic. The ability to learn in that environment is huge.
So the PDL is all about the path to pro and the development of the player. What are some of Young Harris's goals in terms of player development?
Well, I think that we're constantly trying to focus on the professional lifestyle with our players. And we want to give the opportunity for our players to get the exposure, to get to the next level. So a huge focus on what we're trying to do here is to get the kids to live like professionals, to give them the best chance to be a professional. Obviously, within the program, there are certain aspects of development that we focus on. The three main aspects for us would be number one, awareness, number two, choices, number three, speed of play. And obviously, all of these aspects are connected. If you have a good awareness, then usually you'll make better choices, hopefully. And obviously, if you're making better choices, then the speed of your game is a little bit quicker. But we try to train at the highest level of intensity, so it gives the kids the opportunity to reach their potential. That's our philosophy here, is to have all of our players reach their potential. Now, for some players, that's going to be different for others. Some players will be professionals, and the hope is that everybody's a professional. For some, it will be in football or soccer, and for others, it will just be in the working environment. But that's what we try to achieve here, is the professional lifestyle to become a professional.
you had a few players who had an exceptional summer in the PDL. Marco Micheletto and Macaulay King come to mind with the Charlotte Eagles. When you sort of plan out where you want your players to go over the summer, how does that sort of process work? Do you have a strong coaching network that you've built to help sort of send these players to these teams?
Yeah, I mean, we've had players, goodness, we had players all over the Southeast this year and Florida, I think Southwest Florida Adrenaline, Charlotte Eagles, Tri-City Otters, Tormenta, where else, Virginia. So, you know, we try to give the opportunity for the kids to decide themselves where they want to go. Now, obviously, Macaulay and Marco and Johnny Denton were a huge part of what we were trying to achieve this year. So what I tried to do was send them to the same program together. And obviously, Dave over at Charlotte was willing to do that, and I think it worked out for both of us. So you know, previously we had 4 players at Ocala Stampede that went to the Final Four. So I think it's good to get the kids there together, but it's the kids' choices, it's the players' choices. You know, I don't want to force them to be anywhere that they don't want to be. I think it's got to be a right fit for the players. It's got to be a right fit for the teams that want the players as well. You know.
Speaking of King, he's a PDL top prospect. What are some of your expectations for him specifically through this season? How do you think he will develop, and maybe look into the future? Do you think he'll have an impact at the next level?
Highest expectation is to stop being lazy. If we can achieve that, then absolutely. The kid has a lot of talent. Huge expectations for him. I think that he has the pro potential. There is no shadow of a doubt. Both with Marco and Macaulay, they have huge potential to step up to the next level. But there's still aspects of their game that need development. There's aspects of their character that need development as well. So they're not there just yet. But as they go through the process here at Young Harris College, I feel very, very comfortable that they are two who could make an impact at the next level for sure.
In terms of players in goal, Anton Biden had a huge year for Tormenta. I know I watched a few games. He had a huge save, a PK save in one game. What do you think his role will be in this team this upcoming year?
So Anton is one of those lads who's he's going to bring experience as an up-and-coming junior. He's somebody that went through the development plan. You know, when we first brought him in, we said it's going to be a process over a period of time. A huge part of that process was staying this summer and playing in the PDL. He lacked minutes in his first 2 years, but he's made tremendous progress. The biggest thing that we're looking for Anton this year is to become that leader, you know, to become that player that controls his box, that controls his environment. You know, there's developmental aspects that we've spent a lot of time on, and he's getting there slowly but surely. It's coming along. So huge expectations for Anton. We really want him to embrace the leadership role this year.
Coach, thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk with me today.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Appreciate you.